good morning, my beautiful listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Endless Mindset Podcast. Today, I'm bringing you another amazing guest, someone very, very special, someone who does so many things in the property at the same time, as well as being a busy mummy of two young children, and somehow they're managing it all. I can't wait to share the story. I'll tell more about this beautiful person after the introduction because there's so much they do. So, one and only Laura Muse, welcome to the show and thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too, Laurie. It's so good to have you on the show. As I said, that you guys do so many things in property. So yeah, I'm sure that you're gonna have so much to share with the listeners, and there's so many golden nuggets. I'm sure you have, there's so many things you guys went through. So you guys do like holiday lets, and we've done some developments. You there's always something. There's always you guys doing something.
Something new.
So tell us more about, for those who don't know who Muses are, who Laura Muse is. Tell us a bit more about who you are and what you guys do.
Okay. So my name is Laura Muse. I work with my husband, James Muse. We are based in Sheffield. Like you said, Lenka, we've done a variety of strategies over the years. So James has been in property, from 2012. I think he bought his first buy-to-let. And then I joined him in 2016. We both kind of left our jobs, went into property full time. James sold his company. And then we did start with the buy-to-lets, which even today are our bread and butter. They're probably the most profitable things that we still have that are, consistent, do make money while you sleep, and the least stressful thing we own.
People say buy-to-lets are boring vanillas, but they don't have to be at all.
But do you know what? I would take boring right now. So we've got quite a few properties in our portfolio. We've got about 36 tenants of our own. Wow. Which I know in a scale of things isn't massive compared to other people, but for us, we started with like 6, so we're really pleased with that.
You do have your own agency as well?
So yes, I was self-managing up until January 21, but I had little baby, our second little girl, Amelia, and we also bought 2 holiday lets at that time that needed refurbing. Like you do.
Yeah.
So we just made the decision last year that we were going to put them in management. So all of our tenants have been in management since January 21. They're still in it at the minute. It's not going to be forever. It's just while we get the holiday let business running. Because obviously, one thing I think is a bit of a misconception, as you probably do know about holiday lets, yes, it's an investment strategy, but you're buying a house, you're renovating it, or you're turning it into an estate. But actually, you're learning to run a hospitality business, which is completely different to investing in property, like completely different. So we're currently on that roller coaster. James's passion is new builds. We will be going back to new builds extremely shortly. It's why we started property, was to get into doing smaller sites, like between 3 and 7 houses, 10 houses. That is where James will definitely be going back to. It's what he loves. And I will concentrate on the holiday let business. So yes, we've got some buy-to-let, some commercial property, flats, HMOs. Yeah, a bit of everything.
That's exactly what I meant when I was introducing you. And it's like, before I even say your name, there's so much you guys do. So let's just say you guys do a lot and let's talk about it. Honestly, you guys are so inspiring. And as you said, that you've been trying different strategies. You're trying what suits you, what could work, and with like, for example, as you said, with the holiday let, it really is true. It's not just a strategy like buy to let or HMO. You think it's a strategy in the beginning, or with people who don't know much about it, but it's a completely different business. It's an actual business. It's not just property strategy, isn't it? But you've done amazing job with your holiday let called Muse Escapes. Can you tell us a bit more about where that is for those who are listening? Because it's so amazing to go and check you out.
Yeah, so Me and my husband, we absolutely love the Peak District. So we live in Sheffield, so it's literally like 20 minutes from us. We in lockdown especially, we spent a hell of a lot of time in the Peak District as a family, as a couple, and it's just so beautiful. You know, we don't get the chance to go to the Lake District that often, or come down to where you guys are in Devon, but the Peak District is definitely, you know, I'm not going to say the next best thing, but for us it is the best thing. So we can go there, we can go hiking, mountain biking. We've just got a real passion for being in that area, being around nature, and it really is so idyllic. So we wanted to go into the holiday let market purely because we wanted to own property where we could go on holiday in. And the ideal scenario for us was the Peak District. So a couple of people who we know already are in this space. I love interior design. It's something that I've been doing over the last 5 years in our buy-to-lets, which, as you know yourself, can be quite restrictive. You can't really let loose in a buy-to-let like you can a holiday let. Then we went down, obviously, into HMOs, which you could do a little bit more in HMOs. You can definitely design them better than you can a buy-to-let. But yeah, the holiday let market just completely ticked all its boxes for me in regards to buying the asset. So big historical buildings, putting some love back into them, reviving them, should we say, even though some of them were extremely painful, and making them look incredible, which it definitely ticked all its boxes on that aspect. But then you've got a whole new beast of learning to run a hospitality business. So yeah, Muse Escapes, we're in Castleton, which is the most amazing little village in the Peak District. If anyone's not been, you definitely need to go to Castleton. So we've got Candle House in Castleton, and then we have Foxlow Grange, which is a big manor house in Buxton, which comprises of 8 apartments, which can be, you can book the entire thing, which sleeps 30 people, or you can book the individual apartments. So yeah, that's a bit about Muse Escape. And I think as well, Muse Escapes for us is, because we do have 2 children and we do have dogs, we always had to compromise on the type of quality of accommodation. Like, it was never really what we wanted to stay in. It was kind of what we had to stay in. Whereas with these 2 properties, you don't have to compromise on anything. It's like, you know, you can go away as a couple or a family, and, you know, the experience is the same. You know, you can still have a chef, you can still have some in-spa treatments. Only because you've got children and a dog doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to experience these things, which is what we got a bit pissed off with. We were penalised for having kids and dogs.
Yeah, we're gonna do it better.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, you basically found yourself that's sort of like niche where, as you said, that basically there's so many people in your situation when you have, you know, you've got a young family, you've got the dogs as well, and all you want is to have that full package. You want that you don't want to be compromising all the time.
No.
So that's exactly, you know, you created something amazing based on your own experience as well, and
definitely.
And you've done it in a place which means so much to you, and it's so popular as a holiday destination as well. I think you guys done absolutely amazing, and what you've done with the property as an interior design as well, it's breathtakingly beautiful. That's what I mean, guys. You need to guys go and check them out, because it's breathtakingly beautiful. It's like a golden baths, you know. What they call standing
freestanding baths. So yeah, so some of the apartments have the freestanding baths. They've got hot tubs. Yeah, we think it's special, but we're biased.
Oh, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yes, you've done very well. Have you ever studied interior design, or is just from your?
Yeah, so for the last 12 months I've been doing a diploma in interior design. I haven't finished it yet because I've not had time.
How do you do it? Do you have like an on your children or something?
Definitely not. I work extremely till like early hours of the morning. That's how it happens. But yeah, I've not finished that yet. I'm probably about a quarter of the way into it. But yeah, I don't know. I've just always really enjoyed that. I think more as the years have gone by with the property, you know, I've not been in property 10 years, 15 years, you know, it's only been 5 years for me. James has got more experience. I I don't know. I never thought it was something I'd love. I mean, I drive James insane with our own house. Like every year, I'm like it's coming up to that time. Should we repaint the living room? It's like, we only did it last year. I'm like, I know, but let's just try this. It's like, let's not just try that.
Yeah. Oh, but
So yeah, no, I just really, and you know what it's like when you start in property, you think you want to do, and it's an evolving thing constantly. Like we started with the buy-to-lets and went into the HMOs and the new build stuff, and you know, I do get bored easily. So sticking to buy-to-lets forever just wasn't going to suit my personality.
no.
And I love a challenge. Bigger the challenge, I
I
love.
was about to say, really? Studying running multiple businesses.
James has kind of limited it now. He's like, let's just stop with the challenges. I think we're done.
We're challenged enough.
Babies, dogs, new builds, like just stop.
Exactly, studying.
But yeah, no, I do think now, after the 5 years, I really have a passion for the holiday lets that we have, and the interior design and the social media stuff that I've always done. So if there's a way I can kind of collaborate all them things together, that would be my ideal scenario, to be honest. And James is completely different to me, hates social media, not interested in the internal interior design. He just wants to buy plots of land, build amazing houses. That's completely different. He wants new houses. I want old ones.
But it suits you that you guys have the different passions, because let's say when it comes to, let's say, the interior designing thing, you genuinely love it. So he's got someone in the house who can go like, right, if we get this property, you can turn it into something beautiful. And he's not in your ear, for example. Like if he would be doing the same thing, he'll be like, you need to discuss constantly everything. It's like, oh, do you like this? Shall we do that? But because he's like, no, you do this, I'll do that, for example. No, this actually might work really well.
I think as well, like, I mean, when we first started, obviously being married and being in a relationship, working together, like that's just a whole new learning curve, as well as getting into property, learning how to work together without trying to kill each other. That was also a skill we've had to master over the years. And I'm certainly not saying we're perfect at it, but it does help that we've got very different. Obviously, the end goal is the same, but our personal interests of what we like to do in our business are very different, and our skill sets are very different. I couldn't go onto a new build site and plan it out and start costing up material. I just could not do that. It's not my department. But it's James. That's what James really enjoys doing. Whereas I like to go in and make it, as he says, look pretty, and I do.
And oh gosh, you do. Honestly, you've done such an amazing job. Like my jaw was down when I was looking at your pictures. Absolutely amazing, Laurie. But everything you guys do, and it's like, so you've done, we're just talking about your pretty much the latest project you guys done. But before that, you've done 3 new builds, for example. So how did that go? You even featured in a magazine. What was the Blueprint magazine?
So basically,
I bet that was challenging as well.
So yeah, it seems to be a bit of a theme with things we do. The world changes when we do bigger projects. So, for example, when we literally
maybe you start a new project and things start changing.
It must be me. So we literally just started to dig ground for the new build project, and the world shut down. COVID happened. We were like, oh fuck. Like, what do you do? No one's going to work, nothing's open. We had finance that we're on investor finance, so that was ticking away. So it's like, oh my gosh, like what happens now? No one's been through this before. We were really, really fortunate. A lot of the guys who work with us, we've worked with for many years. James has got a great relationship with them. We were fortunate that we pre-bought a lot of the materials before lockdown, just because of prices. Obviously, prices normally go up in January, so kind of the November, December the previous year, we bought the bricks, we bought a lot of timber, etc. So we already kind of had a lot of supplies to keep us going. That was luck, not judgment. That was 100% luck. And then we're also really fortunate that the cement company that we were using, basically, en route to the NHS hospital from their base, they went past our new build site. So they were quite happy to drop cement in the big tubs, literally for the builders so they can continue to build. Again, we were fortunate with the builders that they were a family. So there was a family and they literally lived in 2 houses. So there was 2 bubbles. So we could continue to work throughout lockdown. You know, it definitely was challenging, but I think it made us very resourceful. We built some new relationships with more local firms instead of like your big Juicens, etc. I was not really involved in the build side of that, I'll be blatantly honest. That was definitely James. And using his, like, James is really good at building relationships with people. So yeah, like 9 months from start to finish, we managed to build 3 houses and sell them, which
wow.
When COVID happened, we were like, oh my God,
what have we done?
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
But it was definitely time to put your big girl and boy pants on in that situation. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really have much to do with that, to be honest. Like, you know, help with the marketing stuff at the end, but then we sold them through an agent. But yeah, James loves doing the new build stuff. It doesn't really tick my boxes.
Yeah.
Because it's not, I like quirky old, you know, buildings that have got a history to them.
Your last holiday, honestly, that suits you so much, doesn't it? As you said, that's literally you. You all in one. It's just that, as you said, that now you have a new skill to learn, which is the running holiday-led business, because you never done that before. So even though you are still in property and you've been in the property and your husband been in the property, you are entering different industry through property.
Yeah. Definitely. And as we both know, it's a steep learning curve.
And I've seen you, like, I've started the Boostly Academy as well. I've seen you on there as well. So
I love that. I really, really love that. Like, I just think it's a great community, and like the information that I've got from there at the minute, like we're running at 50% direct bookings, 50% bookings from booking.com. Like, and we've only been, I mean, Foxlow's only been open since mid-November. And I just think that's incredible just by doing, and I've not even really fully started the training academy thing. It's literally just been listening to his podcasts and like his challenges and stuff that he does. Literally, yeah, the golden nuggets that he gives you, like, are life-changing for your business, definitely.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, it was nice to see your name there when I was doing the last challenge, on the actual challenge, when I signed up finally for their academy as well. Was when I saw your name there, I was like, Laura's in as well.
I'm all in.
It was like, you guys are everywhere. Like, you just, as you said, you just done every single strategy is possible. So it's like when I saw you on there as well, I was like, now you're mastering essays now. Like, you're just,
I'm trying my best.
You're just amazing. And it's like, again, as I said, and how do you do it along 2 young children, and you know, you said as well that you're studying the interior design as well and all that. So yeah, it's like, well done. I bet that there's like, I bet that you must be like taking some secret energy drug or something.
I am not. If anyone's got any energy, please send it this way. Absolutely. Literally, if you took a blood sample from me, it's probably just caffeine.
It's the coffee, and just spit it on coffee.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, bless you. But
like, it's definitely not easy. You know, I don't want to portray that it is, because it's not. Like, we've had some really difficult, dark times over these last 12 months, you know, having a new baby, and our breastfeeding until she was like 10 months old. So like, it was solely on me. Me and James at one point were working on completely different sites. Like, I was running the Castleton site, which wasn't a build. It was literally a like, it was decoration and furniture. It wasn't like knocking walls down or anything. But doing that while I was breastfeeding, my husband was on a different site with our team. I'm trying to get new people to come and do jobs there because I can't take anyone off the Buxton job. Yeah, we had some really hard weeks, months. So probably to the point, if I'm being really honest, that actually at this moment in time, it's probably got its health. It's had health issues. We've both got health issues from the stress. It's not something I would not recommend you do that, if I'm honest. And in hindsight, I think we probably were a bit naive thinking that we could do all them things and come out of the other side still functioning on all cylinders,
And
because
still
that's definitely
smiling.
not the case.
Oh, but let you know, but it's just one of those, like, you started all these projects, or you've been doing all these things because you are energetic, you are driven, you are ambitious guys and all that, and what popped in between, it's a baby. It's like, for us, a
Yeah.
baby on its own is challenging, and you've just been doing all this and a baby on top, but the baby will grow up, the
Yeah.
project will end,
But she's one now. I can't believe it. She was literally one a couple of weeks ago.
I couldn't believe it. I still remember James's picture carrying the baby out of hospital. That was like
I know.
yesterday.
I
Oh
know.
wow. So yeah,
Bless
it's
her.
crazy. She's growing. Obviously, the kids are gonna go. The project will be ending. You will continue to study. The study will end as well. And I'm sure that when things are gonna be slowing down, you'll find another project.
Well, I think James is already getting itchy feet. I'll be honest.
It's just
I'm
part
like,
of
what are you doing? What are you doing? No, put right move down.
the That's what I mean. It suits you guys. That's what I mean. It's part of you, isn't it? You just like being busy, and you like the challenge, as you said, and all that. And you just gonna make you a stronger, tougher as well, and you're gonna learn along the way as well.
I think as well, like a bit of a curse of an entrepreneur, if you want to call it, is you never feel like you're doing enough.
Mm.
Um, and that definitely resonates with me and James. That to the point like you get to the end of the week and it's like, yeah, but what have you? Well, we've not done enough. Like I just think sometimes as entrepreneurs as well, are our expectations too high? Do we expect too much from ourselves? I don't know the answer to that. It's just a question I'm putting out there. I don't know. So yeah, we
No, but
just
it's true. It's true. It's like, I know exactly what you mean. It's like, when you are this type of entrepreneur, when you are hungry for, it's not even the money, or it's not even
no,
it's not that. I completely get it. It's more like, you just like being in that's what
yeah,
that's what you were born to do. Basically, you creating, you doing things, and at the same time you're creating a work opportunities for others, so you're actually helping others as well, because you don't get a project and then you're just doing everything yourself. You got
no.
builders, you buying furniture, so obviously you're helping stores and all that, so you're helping people as well, and it's just part of being an entrepreneur. And world without people like you guys, well, where would we be? Do you know what I mean? It's like, we need people like you. The world
I don't
needs
know as
people.
well. Like I think having a young family, and obviously the world has definitely changed since I grew up a lot. I don't I don't really want my girls thinking that you have to go to uni, you have to go get the job. Like I want them to know that actually you can do anything you want to do, but you've got to work. You've got to get out of bed and you've got to go get it yourself. No one's going to give
Yeah,
it to you.
yeah.
And yes, it definitely has an impact on our family life. I'm not going to say that I am the best mum in the world who is there for my child, morning, noon, and night. Sometimes they come home from school. I don't see them for 2 days. Like, I'm not saying, because I can't, I am one person. But I do hope, when they are a bit older, they will look back and think, actually, do you know what? My mum and dad, they really work for what we've got, and we've got a great life from it, and we can go out and do anything we want to do. We don't have to go and do the regular, like I was taught, and I'm sure you go to school, you go to uni, you go get a good job, you get married, you have a family, you get the mortgage. Like, if my girls don't want to do that, I don't want them to ever think that's what they have to do, because that's what society portrays. I want them to go get what the hell they want, because they can do anything they want to do.
I love that.
But you've got
And
to work at it.
absolutely. And it's a lot with the mindset, and obviously them growing next to you guys, where obviously everything you do starts here, isn't it? It's the mindset as well. So it's like, for them being surrounded by that, it must be it is going to be a game changer if that's something they want to do. As you said, if that's something they will want to do, you are there for them. You gave them the examples. You have the mindset for them as well, to help them if that's something they want to do. And I know exactly what you mean as well. I have a niece who's going to be 14 And she wants to come and spend her summer with me this year. So obviously she's going to come and live with me and Andy. Yeah. And her parents, which is like my sister, they are employed people, and they always will be employed people. That mentality, they got married straight after school, all that what you just said. And that's what was expected from me as well, because my brother did it, my sister did it, and I was expected from me, but I didn't do that. And I'm creating my own world, completely different to anybody in my family. And my niece, she is growing with that mentality. She basically watches me, and all she's talk about entire year is she just wants to come and spend time with Auntie Lenka. She wants to come and spend time with Auntie Lenka. So now I'm looking at her like my little I'm gonna be like her mentor. That's what she she said she wants me to be her mentor. And but what my plan is that when she's gonna come here, well, it looks like she's gonna be coming every year. But when she comes, I don't want to just kind of like give her the tools and say, right, you do this, or this is how you start business, or she needs to work for it, but she needs but even if we have a different mindset that I was taught, if that makes sense. So it's exactly so exactly what you're saying. So I kind of have the plan with her, but I want to find her jobs, but I want to make her work certain things for free as well, and follow me and learn English and do that and learn different skills and offer the things for free sometimes. And so it's very, very different to what I grew up, and I'm really, really happy that I can do it for someone now. So it's not my own child, but it's my niece. So I kind of like I obviously it's not my own child, but I know what you mean as well. Like I feel great that she wants to be different, and I can help her with that. So she doesn't need to the same mindset that most of our family been in and still is. So definitely,
I think that's the majority of people though, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. And if my girls turn around to me and say, Mum, I want to go to university, and I went to uni, if they want to go, that's absolutely fine. But I want them to know that there's other options. They don't have to do that if they don't want to do it. Exactly. You can still be successful by not doing it. You don't have to do that. So
that's
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
What happens exactly? We've got years till we find out.
I've got teenage years to go through yet. That could all go down the pan. Who knows?
That you really it's good that you have your holiday lists, because when they're gonna start being a teenager, you probably will need a mini holidays all the time.
I'll be moving to Buxton.
You'll be like, I'm out. It's like when you start shouting at mummy. Sorry,
Mummy's going.
Oh, bless. And Laurie, what do you think that was your biggest lessons from your property journey? What would you say that like something you would share for those who want to either start something similar, or they're thinking about doing this or that? What would you think? What would you share?
I'd say over the last 12 months we've learned some hard lessons. Absolute number one is people who you assume are doing what they say they're doing, I would research the hell out of, because actually I would say the majority of mentors and things out there are full of shit. Do your own due diligence. Do not be led by others. And one thing that I hate to say, but over the last 12 months we've learned there's not many friends in business. You need to sometimes keep friendship and business completely separate, because we've lost quite a few friends over the last 12 months. And we thought we're quite shocked about, we thought we were on the same page, but actually when people see that you're buying these bigger buildings, they change towards you, they expect more, even though you're paying them for a service, they want paying more because they think you're earning more. Not realizing that you're buying these bigger buildings, but you're buying them, with investor money, which has got an interest to pay. Yeah. Then you've got to get a mortgage. They cost twice as much to refurb. It's been an interesting year for us. Basically, a lot of people are full of shit. And I really hate to say that. I really do. Like me and James like to. And we always wear his heart on a sleeve, and we talk about the ups and the downs in property. But I just feel like a lot of people are honest. And and it's quite shocking that people are as prolific in the industry as they are, and full of shit.
Yeah,
So that's my lesson. Research the shit out of people before you hand over a pound.
Oh yeah, that's a good one though. It's a very important one because loads of people, you don't think that way, or you don't want to think this way, but that's reality. And as you said, and unfortunately, and especially when you got so much on, you got to the stage where enough, it's enough. You learn something about people, and you're like, you know what, I don't need this anymore. Or when you said that let's say you lose friend or something, sometimes it's your own decision. You're like, you know what, I don't need this anymore. For example, like the negativity or I don't know, it could be anything. Like as you said, and it can be property or business can be lonely as well sometimes as well. So you think that when let's say you get on with someone and you think, oh, we have amazing relationship or something, and in the end of the day, as you said, it might not be the friends or something. So it's sad one, but that's the reality, unfortunately, sometimes. So
it's funny actually. A friend of mine said, because obviously at a point me and James are like, is it it must be us, like it must be something we're doing, or and a friend actually turned around to me, she went, have you ever heard the phrase, some friends are for seasons and some for a lifetime? And I'm like, don't even know what you're on about. She's like, not everybody who you meet is there for a friendship for a lifetime. Some people are just for a season, and that's okay. Like, it's not a reflection of you. And as you continue to grow, potentially you may outgrow them people, or they're aligned, their interests are not as aligned with yours anymore, and that's also fine. So I think, I mean, I'm sure you went through this. Like when we first started in property, we lost a lot of friends we'd known for a long time because it's the whole crabs in the bucket scenario. You're doing something a bit different. They don't understand it. I think it kind of presses their buttons of, maybe something they wanted to do. And I think sometimes it's just best to cut people out, as harsh as that sounds. But on the flip side, like, we've met some amazing people through property. And I would say now our circle of friends is 90% different than it were 5 years ago. And I'd say, and 95% of them people are people we've met in the last 5 years who are in property, who we have got a genuine alignment and friendship with, and actually get what you're going through, and want to support you. It's not just lip service and then they go and slag you off behind your back. It's like they genuinely give a shit. Like me and a friend, we set up a mastermind group. Like, it's not a profit thing. It's nothing we advertise. It's literally just a group of friends who get together once a month, who we've met over the years, who just really want to push each other forward. So, it's not for profit. I'm not selling anything here because you can't. It just does. And we go once a month, and to be honest with you, majority of the time, it's more about your mindset, and sometimes it's like a bloody counselling session. But people in that room get it, like, they get what you're going through, and they can see the upsides. They don't just see the downsides. Like, if you talk to normal people, as we say, they think it's like the worst thing in the world, and like they probably drag you down. So there's no point talking to them people about it because they don't get it, and they never will get it, and that's fine. That's not a reflection on them. It's just, I think you need to pick your conversations and pitch your conversations to the correct people to get the right
well said
reassurance that you're actually doing the right thing. Because I think too many people are quite partial to trying to pull you back down. But people we've met in property are incredible, life-changing actually, so really grateful for that.
People call it as well, like when you find your tribe, it's the tribe thing, isn't it? Like, you think you can get along with loads of people, but it's about finding your tribe and your vibe. Once you find people within you'll just learn over the time. You learn, do you like who can be part of your tribe, and when you find those, look after those relationships because they are precious as well. As just as you said, the fact is that you can talk to them. They really get it. They're actually interested in what you do, genuinely interested, because they can help. Like, if you speak to them, they might be able to help, advise, or give you a context. Like, oh, you're struggling with this, speak to that person or something like that. But they genuinely care for you, and that's more important than having 10 times more friends who you can speak to about what you do. Because if you're involving, as you said, let's say we're growing, we're changing. Yeah, people change careers, to change jobs. That's normal. So you starting a business, that's like a change of careers, for example.
Yeah.
And not all the friends would get it. And the conversations are changing, and yes, yes, they can still be friends, but they might not everybody, not all the friends will 100% get you. And these are the times where I've done it as well. I had to do it as well, when you have to, as you said, is do the harsh thing in your life, when you have to cut some people off. And I couldn't really understand at first how I would do it, because when you genuinely love someone, but over time you kind of feel like, you know what, it's kind of naturally feels like we don't need each other anymore. And it's, as you said, it's like you're thinking, I love that you said that as well, that you were asking with James, like, is it us? So it's the same thing. I think all of us, we're probably going through this when you are starting this entrepreneurial life, and you start asking, is like, is it me then? And then you're like, no, actually, because it's natural progression, and and in life as well, because or progressions, or you changing careers, or you're learning something new, and it's just one of those things we need to accept, that not everybody is there to stay forever. As you said, the seasonal friends. Some people, they're just there to pass by, and some people are there for life. And in property, you found a lot of or like in any business, or like in a property, you found a lot that in the journey of who is more your tribe and who is not. And
no, definitely, I think you're 100% right. Yeah, I mean, we've got some amazing friends now. But we never would have met them if we hadn't have been in property, because like the backgrounds are so different. Like, working in multi-million-pound corporate business roles, and now they're doing bits of property, but they're still doing them roles as well. Like, and they're so supportive because they can bring so many aspects of business to your, your life. And it's really incredible the types of people you meet.
We have a mutual friends as well, no? Like our Royal Navy girls. It's like,
yes,
how would we ever be friends with Royal Navy people just like that, And now we got, like, they are your friends, they're our friends as well. It's one of those, isn't it? Like I love that you said that. It's like different backgrounds. How else would you meet that? Like that's just one example, That's just one example.
Big up to the Ingrams.
Go Ingrams. I spoke to Lucy actually yesterday to bring her on the podcast again. The last time she was on the podcast, they were doing just HMOs. Now they are developers as well. So I thought, come back on the show.
I bet she's got some stories to tell.
Oh yeah. Not gonna be far behind you on the podcast now again. Amazing. Yeah, no, that's that. I love those. I love the examples of the challenges, and like you guys went through, and I think it's a topic. The only way how I start learning how to deal with that when it comes to the friends and cutting friends and things like that is by listening to stories like yours. You're following people, you found the people you follow basically, and you're listening to the stories, and every single person will tell you that. So it's just by listening to those stories you kind of learn how to deal with it and cope with it. So thank you for sharing that, because it is very important. As I said, that I only learn that it's okay to let people go because I learned that from others. So I think it's hugely important. So thank you so much for sharing that. Laurie, so, and now like overall as well, like what would be the top 3 tips from you? Top 3.
Ooh. Surround yourself with people who are on your team is 100% one. Don't be afraid to say no. You get many opportunities in property, many opportunities. You get a lot of people contacting you for a lot of information. Please don't be afraid to say, actually, no, that doesn't align with what I want to do right now. Thank you, but no. And 3, I think you should always do your back research on people. We've heard many a story about, especially lately, like people lending money and then people aren't who they say they are, or a mentor that maybe isn't who they portray they are, or they haven't got what they say they've got. I think, I'd like to believe everything everyone says, and I did that for a very long time, but I'd say definitely over the last couple of years we've been burnt a few times. Please learn from our mistakes. People are not who they say they are all the time. A lot of the time they are, and people are genuine, but please do your due diligence on people, not just the deals that you're buying. So they're my top 3 things.
That's a very good one. Yeah, it's very important. It is very important. And I learned that as well. What was it like after in the lockdowns? A loads of people became like trainers, and this is one of my examples as well. It's like it was just like a trend, wasn't it? Everybody started to do training, everybody started doing mentoring, and so many people started groups and new trainings and academies and all that. And as you said, it's like it's so important to do the due diligence. People saying do due diligence on your property or like an investor, but you do it, you do that on everything. And especially now with having internet, it's not as difficult. You just need to be a little bit of just turn into a little investigator for that. Oh, I have lost my screen. Where are you? There you are.
I'm back.
Yeah, we're back again. Obviously, listeners, they don't know this, but we're having a little bit of technical let's call it issues. Let's call them issues. They don't need to know what's wrong with them. Amazing. Right, Laurie, there is something I always ask every single of my I want to say host. No, I'm the host. Every single of my guests. Do you have any book to recommend, either to read or listen? It could be an Audible, it could be a physical book, but is that a book which changed your life or you would recommend?
Can I pick more than one, or is it just one?
No, you can say as many as you want.
Right. There's this one book. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It's quite a recent one that I think what's it called? Oh, that's it. I mean, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson.
They made a movie now as well. Did you know?
Is what? Sorry.
They made a movie now about it as well.
Oh, was it? Well, anyway, I fucking love that book.
Yeah, no, I just want to say that's a great shout. This book became so popular. They made a movie out of it now. So well done. I love that. Yeah, I love that recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, especially over the last 12 months, like learning how to not give a fuck about what people think, and at the end of the day, what other people think of you is actually none of your business.
Yeah.
So that one, and also I've got to put a big shout out to Mark Simpson. So the book Direct Playbook, that is a marketing one, isn't it? I mean, I've done the playbook. Stuff in there is just like you'd pay a lot of money for the information in that book. People charge thousands for the information in that book, and he's literally doing it for what, $5.99 or whatever. It's just incredible because he genuinely wants to help people, not because he's out there to make a quick buck. Them two are definitely my top of my list.
That's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just going to share, just to show listeners an example again, what a beautiful person you are. You guys went on first holiday in a very long time. You went to Barbados with your family. Yeah. And you stayed in a beautiful holiday land, where you left a note for the owner with Mark's book to say, this is a guy you need to just read it. That was so gorgeous of you. So just to show listeners what a beautiful person you are. So that's it. I'll tell Mark as well.
She was such a lovely lady, and she kept referring to my Airbnb, and I was like, I'm cringing, like, stop calling it an Airbnb. I'm like, you've got an amazing place here. You really need to read this book. And like, she messaged me after, and she started doing her own website. She just purely relied on Airbnb. And she's like, oh my God, like, it's amazing. I've ordered the other book. I'm like, oh yeah, honestly, it's like game-changing stuff. So if you can share that information with just one person and it makes a massive change to their life, then what we're all here for, isn't it?
Amazing. I love that. Amazing. And Laurie, just one more thing I also always ask. If you sit down to watch something, you probably don't have time, but if you sit down to watch something, what would you recommend? It could be educational, it doesn't have to be, but what would Laura Muse recommend to watch?
I am a bit partial to the Vikings.
Really? Hey, nice. Definitely.
So we've literally just finished. We just finished the Vikings of Valhalla, and I feel like now we've started the Lost Kingdom. So I like a bit of I don't know if it's because I like to be taken out of my world for a short period of time. I don't know, And a bit of blood and violence, it goes a long way in our house.
Just get it out of your system through the day.
Yeah, like buy a TV. Yeah, anything like that we quite like.
You know what? I need to start. I'm so glad you said that, because I actually was looking for something new to watch, because I'm a very documentary freak. So I probably, if it's on Netflix, I probably watch them all.
Oh my God, did you watch that Spotify one? Did you watch a Spotify
documentary? I am watching it as we speak now.
Oh God, like we were watching that, like, oh my God, can you even believe this happened?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just so interesting. Like, you were literally about to go bankrupt, and then boom.
Yeah, exactly. Like what he had. Yeah, exactly. I actually, yeah, it's good that you reminded me. I need to come back to this one because I am watching it. I started it, but I haven't finished it yet. So yeah, glad you said that. You gave me amazing recommendations. See? Yeah, but yeah, the Spotify. What a story! What a story! One of my favorites is actually like documentaries about biographies. So I am very. Probably top search in my Google is biography documentaries. Like I'm so obsessed with those. What was the last one I watched was what's the name of that car? Lamborghini. Have you watched that one with the guy Lamborghini?
Oh, I've not seen that one.
Yeah,
I've not seen that. I tell you what, we did watch the other day. So I do watch telly actually quite a bit.
No, I'm glad because it's good to,
well, we have about an hour or two a day that we just like switch everything off, switch the phones, the laptops, like just try and just chill out. And we watched the Pamela Anderson documentary.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that, but it's really sad actually, like how she had everything, and then obviously because of that film, like literally after that, her kind of career just went. But then an ex-husband now, but a husband at the time's career went the opposite way. It's like just quite a reflection on like how women are, and I'm not going to get into all that politics, but it's just really bad how like it's one rule for one and one rule for another, and like she just seems like a really lovely person.
I know. That's exactly what I thought as well. I kind of felt sorry, but I was like, oh, that's sad. And the saddest bit, I love how her son said when for those who obviously watched it, and for those who didn't watch it, because it's a true story about one of the most famous people in the world. But basically, as her son said as well, that people think that she makes so much money out of the sex tape, but she didn't make a single penny. And he said, I wish she did. She would be a millionaire. But she struggled financially very often. And it's like somebody made millions and millions out of this sex tape. And her own son said, I wish she did. We would be millionaires now. The world's seen it anyway. So yeah, she didn't sign the paper. But yeah,
I just love how honest she was. She went, I just love the idea of being in love. She went, that's probably why I've been married so many times. It's like
it was really interesting documentary. I loved watching it as well. But I mean, it was very sad at the same time as well. But
really sad, yeah.
It makes you connect with a different type of woman as well, little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like we are so different, but but you didn't like judge her there or anything like that. I'm thinking, oh, how could you do this or that? It was more like woman to woman. Okay, that's your story. That's what you went through. It's actually she's got a good heart. She's a sweet person and all that. So yeah, it was very interesting and completely, totally different type of person than we are. So it just shows as well that sometimes it's, let's say, all these stories I've heard when I was growing up about her, none of that is actually true. And like, we didn't know that back then because there was no internet. Now we just been fed what we were fed by media. So finding out more about people, it's really nice. Like,
that's one rule in our house. We do not watch the news in our house. It's banned.
Yes.
We just don't ever watch it. Like, no.
Same. My dad is like addict. That's one thing I'm so glad I didn't inherit it from him. He's the absolute addict to news.
Oh, James's nanny is literally, if you go to James's nan's house, it's all she watches all the time. And she's like, oh, have you seen this on the news? I'm like, I don't watch the news. She's like, what do you mean you don't watch the news? Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't need mind poisoning. I'll make my own mind up. I don't know. And there's never anything happy on the news. It's just doom and gloom, and I just don't need that in my life.
Exactly. And plus, it's not only that, it's all negative, but on top of it is that what you hear is still not a full truth
100%,
because people
100%.
deciding what they're going to tell public. So
it's what people choose that they want you to know. It's not the truth.
And it's like we know that more and more. And I don't know, I don't know if you like things like that as well, but I love spy movies and things about like FBI agents and all that, and or documentaries, documentaries,
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
And you can
Have you
hear,
watched that? What were it called? Money Heist. We like stuff like that.
oh, I did I finish? Right, I'm gonna write that down because it's right now on street, but I don't remember it. I think
So
I
I don't
might.
know what this podcast is. It's basically just movie recommendations.
Maybe we should start a new podcast.
Yeah.
Laurie, if you have spare time, and I know you've got plenty, let's start a new podcast.
Oh, funny.
No,
Links and
but
Laura's things to watch.
yeah. Double L. Let's do Linka Loras, exactly. Double L.
Yeah.
And Lucy, let's get Lucy Ingram, triple L. Oh, that'll be amazing. I wanted to say Jennifer Law as well, but that's her law. The law is her surname. So you see, we can, because Jen Law as well. We
Oh,
can
there you go. That's it.
four L's. Amazing. Right, Laurie, that was amazing. Well, thank you so much for all the recommendations, all the golden nuggets, sharing your story and everything. And one more thing is for those who want to find you and follow you, how we can find you, where can we find you, where are you?
So we are everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, etc. You can either search Laura Muse or our holiday let company, which is Muse Escapes, and it's MUSE like the band, not like the streets. So yeah, so check us out on any of them channels. We are everywhere you could probably think.
I'll pop obviously links on everything, and yeah, thank you ever so much for coming on the show. I loved having you. I loved your energy. Even though you don't have much at the moment. I'm joking. I absolutely love your energy, Laurie, and I was really looking forward to this episode. So I'm so glad we've done it. And thank you for sharing the story. I'll let you know when the episode goes live. And I'm just wishing you all the best to you and your family. And I can't wait to see what else gonna come through with music
Thank you.
adventures.
Thank you. It's been great. It's been great to speak to you, Linka.
Right. So thank you very much. Have a great day, Laurie.
Bye.
Bye.